And the function of the pedestal is to keep the metal base of the vent stack, that's that circular flat plate at the bottom of the vent stack, right? That's the hose for the bolt, is to keep it far above the ground. So you can see that here is 300, okay? But here is actually 950. The distance from the footer to the top of the pedestal is 950. So the function is to keep the base metal plate so high up from the ground so that something like dust, something like sand, if the wind is blowing, something like sand, right, is not going to touch. Remember, iron should not be improperly exposed, okay? So when it's high above the ground, right, it prevents the iron from rusting. So that is why we have the pedestal so high. All right, of course, there's iron work, there's reinforcement inside the pedestal, there's reinforcement inside the footer. We'll look at that next. Then on top the pedestal, we have grout. Okay, what did they do? Grout, right? Grout, someone like blinding. You know, blinding ice does not have much thickness. Okay, so the grout now too is something that is not so thick. Okay, it's about 50 millimeter of grout. What is grout? Grout is a special type of cement. So this I want you to look at it. Why do we? So once you have concrete, right, the top of the pedestal, some part is going to be flat, some part is not going to be flat, some part is going to be flat, some part. So when you put that grout, that special cement called grout, 50 mm thick, Abby, so it gives you that flat surface so that when you place the metal, okay, it can be flat. All right, it can be flat, which helps you to hold it. So it helps you to hold the metal plate better to the concrete because the surface is flat compared to the actual concrete. Okay, so that's the purpose of grout. So you have, let's just go through it again. You have compacted soil, you have hardcore, you have blinding, which is concrete. Okay, it helps you so that you can put the reinforcement on it, so that the reinforcement does not rust from the depth from the hardcore from the ground. Then you have the footer, which helps you distribute load to reduce pressure. Then you have the pedestal. The pedestal keeps the entire it keeps the entire vent stack far away from the ground, okay, so that grass or soil doesn't touch it, it doesn't rust, because remember it is iron. Then you have the grout on top. It's the grout, right? You have a special kind of cement that helps with. It's like a handshake between the flat metal plate of the vent stack and the concrete. Concrete is not perfectly smooth. So once you put the grout, it makes it perfectly smooth so that this can sit on it better, so that your vent stack is not going to be slanting. Okay, to make it perfectly straight, you want your vent stack to be perfectly straight. Okay, no error at all. So you need it to be perfectly flat. So that's it with this diagram that shows you all the layers. Then we are going to look at the top view.
Okay, so it's just basically the same thing, but we're looking at it from the top. So what I want to show you from the top view is the measurement. You can see the same thing. If you look at this one, 17. 17 is what? Look at 17 here. Okay, that's the concrete base, the blinding, I mean. 15, which is this box. This is the first outer box. We're looking at the second box after that, right? Then that's the second box is the footer. Okay, this is it here. This one here, this is the footer. Then the third one is the pedestal. Okay, you can see the dimensions.